Hello, everyone, and welcome to Big Sam's Long Balls podcast with me, Dan. I'm now going to make a video on how to make Manchester United great again. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to call the title. I don't know if it's possible. I kind of hope it's not possible. If you've never seen this channel before, my name is Dan, and I'm actually a Liverpool fan. This is a very, very small channel, as you can obviously tell. It's usually me and one other person, Chris, who is an Arsenal fan. We do this channel together. This is not a channel specific about Liverpool or Arsenal. It's just a brand new footballing channel for all football fans out there. So earlier on, I made a video. It's worth checking out if you're a Liverpool fan, by the way. Well, it might be. Hopefully it is. On picking their strongest 11 of the squad available. And I thought this is actually quite fun. I found this little website, buildlineup.com. Check it out. It's a little bit of fun for you, where you can actually just build your own teams, your own formations. So I thought I'm actually going to do this not just for my team, but have a little look at around the league and see if I can build the best formations, the best starting 11s for as many teams in the Premier League, in the Championship, across Europe, whatever teams that you guys would like me to have a look at, and see if we can sort of build a really cool, fun team. So with that said, let's take a look at the Manchester United squad. Some good options. I certainly think the Manchester United do have a better team than what we've seen in recent seasons in terms of their league position. I don't think they should be finishing or playing in the style that they have been playing with a team this good. But obviously, it's a fresh start for the Red Devils. Eric Ten Hag. There's a lot of excitement about this guy. Understandable. Potentially not critics, but yeah, let's go with critics, I suppose. Some of the critics might be, well, he's managed in Holland, he's managed the best team in Holland. It's not the competition of the Premier League or, say, even a La Liga or a Serie A or, anything like that. So I suppose when you look at that, you might go, Eric Ten Hag doesn't have as much experience as some of the other guys. But I certainly think, even as a Liverpool fan, that you guys should be very, very excited about this guy. His teams are beautiful to watch when they really get going. And, I think in a few years' time, if United stick with this guy, they'll be back. They'll be back, certainly challenging. But let's have a look at the options they have available. Like I said, I'm going to, make United great again, see if I can build the best team I can with this Manchester United squad. But I'm going to stick to the squad that they have in real life. So I'm not going to chuck in a fantasy signing like, Frankie de Jong. He might end up there. He might not. It certainly is dragging on at the moment. Looks more likely that he might end up going to Chelsea, which might be quite fun. But anyway, let's have a little look. So Eric Ten Hag tends to play 4-3-3. So that's the formation I'm going to use for this Manchester United team. Having watched a little bit of Ten Hag's Ajax and going back and doing a little bit of research before sort of doing this video, I am somewhat prepared, guys. I've always noticed that although it's a 4-3-3, they tend to sort of have two holding midfielders. So that's what I've done. The actual formation I've used on here is a 4-2-3-1 because that just felt like the most I was able to get the two holding midfielders. This website is a little bit limited, I must admit. But anyway, I've gone for, out of your goalkeeping options, you have got De Gea, Henderson, which that's not the case anymore because obviously he's just gone out on loan, and Tom Heaton. So maybe Manchester United will bring in another goalkeeper there. I think it's pretty easy, this one. David De Gea. He might not be the best with his feet in terms of sort of kicking out and playing out from the back, which might be a bit of a hindrance to Eric Ten Hag this season, but he's a world-class goalkeeper, one of the best in the world, one of the best in the Premier League over the last 10 years, really. And with proper coaching, and that's what he'll get under Ten Hag, I don't see why he won't improve that area of his game. So David De Gea's got to go in goal for me. Defensively, some options, some pretty decent options here at the back. Let's start with centre-backs. So obviously they've got the captain, Harry Maguire, and he's remained captain. So you'd imagine he would go in. Now, I haven't put him in my team of what I would do, just because I think he makes too many mistakes, and also because of, where is he? Where's the new guy? Here he is, Lisandro Martinez. Now, obviously played under Ten Hag for Ajax. Bit of criticism that's come in is maybe he's a little bit small for a centre half that we'll see in the Premier League. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know if I really sort of buy into that. Yeah, sure, there will be the odd game where he might come up against a striker who's about 6'3", 6'4", physically built like a brick shit house and might bully him. But but Manchester United have spent a lot on him. Ten Hag has had him play for him before, obviously trusts him. So you'd imagine that this guy will come in and play. But obviously we'll see how it goes, because if he does start getting physically bullied, it will obviously need to be a situation where that would have to change. Big season for this guy, Rafael Varane. Really big season. Came in with a huge reputation. Obviously, La Liga winner. He's won multiple Champions Leagues. He's won the World Cup. It can't be a case that this guy was just, he fed off Sergio Ramos and all of this, and he's this crap defender that loads of, social media arseholes seem to sort of make out that, that he's some kind of crap player. He's obviously not. He's one of the best defenders of this generation. He had a really poor season last season, lots of injuries. It was just a terrible season for Manchester United in general, really, wasn't it? So big season for this guy. I've gone for Martinez and Varane as my defensive duo to start off with. I also think there is an opportunity for this guy this season, Eric Bailly. Brilliant player, really top player, incredible athlete, right appetite, hunger for the game. The only thing that goes against him is these constant injuries. So I have to keep moving the camera. I do apologize about that. But Eric Bailly, if he could stay fit, Manchester United have got a sensational defender on their hands. Again, I wouldn't hold my breath. This guy's injury problems are just awful. It's a little bit like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for us. If you could just get him fit and in the team, you just know that he could do, he could do so well. So he's not in my team, but if he's fit, I think he does go in. The big thing is obviously Maguire, club captain, had a really poor season last season. Lots of pressure on this guy now. I haven't put him in mine. I couldn't seem to fit him in. The only way I imagine a Maguire starting ahead of Martinez or Varane is A, either injuries, or B, if Martinez really struggles at centre half in the Premier League and is getting bullied, like crosses into the box, set pieces, stuff like that. If Martinez does become a sort of a weak point for Manchester United, you could imagine sort of him coming out and Maguire coming in. But because obviously Ten Hag is such a huge fan of Martinez and he has played in midfield before, perhaps another option is to put Martinez as that number 6, that defensive midfielder, and another area where Manchester United have really struggled in for a number of years now. They don't really have a defensive midfielder. I've put Martinez at centre-back in my team. But again, that is an option. In the formation that I've done more of like a 4-2-3-1 type formation. No, we do not want a membership for Manchester United. Huh, definitely not. In my formation, I've kind of gone more 4-2-3-1 of 2 holding midfielders. But if they went to more of a typical 4-3-3, just one sort of defensive midfielder, similar to how sort of Liverpool and Manchester City have played over the past few years, then perhaps Martinez could go there. But for me, I would go with De Gea in goal and Martinez and Varane as my centre-back options. Now, at full-back for Manchester United, not too many options. At left-back, for example, you might see Alex Telles come in and play. Maybe he's a bit more of an exciting player than Luke Shaw. I don't know if that's the right phrase to use for that. Maybe he's a bit better going forward, got a bit more of that European flair. But I would go with Luke Shaw, to be perfectly honest. Again, I think that the thing that holds this guy back is injuries, and he needs a proper coach. And actually, for all of the criticism that people threw at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was at Manchester United and the season where you guys finished second, Manchester United had one of, if not the best defences that season. I can't remember the stats. It was 2 years ago now. But this guy in particular was probably the best, certainly the best left back that season. He was sensational. He's brilliant defensively and he's excellent going forward. If he can stay fit and if he's got the right coach with him, someone like a Ten Hag, you have got a sensational fullback on your hands. I think he's head and shoulders above this guy. I really do. This guy is exciting. He can get forward, but I think he's a bit of a calamity at the back. So for me, I'm going to put Luke Shaw at left back in my Manchester United team. I hate saying my Manchester United team. This is weird. Let's go with right back. So our 2 main options really are Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Brandon Williams this season. I don't know if he's gone out on loan or anything. It says obviously he's not at the moment, but obviously it said the same for Dean Henderson. But I think it'll be between Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. Delo's an exciting player, but actually, I would chuck in Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And before any Manchester United fans go, "You're a Liverpool fan, you just want to make us shit." Again, I would say the same thing of what I just said about Luke Shaw. 2 years ago, these two were some of the best fullbacks in the league. They were brilliant. And yeah, he's not a Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's not a Reece James. He's not a Kyle Walker. But he's an incredible athlete, and he still is the best one-on-one defender in the Premier League. He is exceptional. You don't get past him. Okay, I get what you're going to say. Does he fit into Ten Hag's style of play, the Ajax style of football, possession-based attacking football? Yeah, you might say he might be a little bit like Bambi on ice. But again, it comes down to coaching. Has he had the best coaching in the world since he's joined Manchester United? You'd say no. We all, even as a rival fan, we like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He seems like a really nice guy, and he was a top footballer. But as a coach, he didn't really seem to be like the top echelon of what you need. He was very nice. He just let the guys get on with it. What I think Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw in particular need is someone on them, someone like coaching them every single day, not giving them a minute's rest until they hit that next level. Wan-Bissaka, if he can do that, if he can up his passing game, if he can improve his offensive play, you've got one of the best fullbacks in world football. And I imagine it would be worth sticking with him rather than going out and having to spend 60, 70, 80 odd million on another fullback. I think you've got an incredible player here. Obviously, it's on him now and he needs to get to the next level. But I think he can do it. Genuinely, I think he's a better option than Delo, and I think he'd be worth sticking with for at least another year. Now, let's go into the Manchester United midfield. There's a couple of really exciting options here. Obviously, Christian Eriksen is a brand new signing. He'll be really exciting to see where we can fit him in. I couldn't fit him in for my team. I'll go through my team, actually. I'll just show you guys. So let me hold it down here so I can hold off the reveals. Obviously, the back five, what I've gone through: De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw at fullback, Varane and Martinez at centre half. Obviously, that can change if Martinez sort of gets bullied around. Like I said, I've gone 4-3-3, but I've gone with two holding midfielders. And I thought Van der Beek is a player that a lot of Manchester United fans want to see in the team, and understandably. I kind of think, I'm not really sure about Van der Beek. I think he's obviously a talented player, but he's been here a couple of years now. He's worked under different coaches, and not one of the coaches has seen him as good enough to put in. And I think it has to be a point where Van der Beek has to step up and say, well, maybe this is on me. It's not necessarily just bad coaching. It's on me as well. But because I know that Manchester United fans absolutely love this guy, want to see him in the team, and also, having worked with Ten Hag, he goes in. Another player who I'm putting next to him, I can imagine a lot of, eyebrows being raised at this if you haven't already seen it, is I'm going to put Garner there, James Garner, who was obviously at loan at Nottingham Forest last season. If I look at the Manchester United squad options, barring Christian Eriksen, I didn't really know who I could put in there. And I didn't think Christian Eriksen would fit in sort of like a double pivot role. So obviously we've got Fred, who could be a potential option, and Scott McTominay. Other than that, who's going to sort of, be your defensive options? Maybe McTominay or Fred could do it, but I think why not give Garner a go? He's new to the Premier League. He had a brilliant season last season, obviously on loan at Forest. So reward that. Why not reward that? And I'd only seen Forest a handful of times, mainly in the FA Cup, and I watched a couple of games here or there in the Championship because I really liked what I'd seen from Forest. And he was a player that stood out every single time. And I think Manchester United have got a very, very talented player on their hands if he has the right coaching. And we all know that Ten Hag is an excellent coach. So this guy, I think, should be in and around that Manchester United first team. He very much reminds me of a young Michael Carrick. And that is a huge compliment to this young man, because Michael Carrick was one of the best midfielders of his generation, let alone the Premier League, one of the best of his generation. He was an exceptional player. And I think James Garner can, step into those shoes. And going forward, this is going to be, I'll just show you the whole team, why as well. So obviously we don't know what's going on with old Cristiano at the moment. Will he stay? Will he leave? Obviously it's been a bit of a nightmare. And while a part of me loves it as a Liverpool fan, it's horrible to watch when you've got some absolute douchebag just ruining your team. And that's what Cristiano Ronaldo is at the moment. We all know that, it's the Ronaldo show whenever he's involved with anything. However, he's 38 years of age. He's coming towards the end of his career. You wouldn't expect this behavior from a player or just from someone at this age. It is genuinely ridiculous at this point in time. So I think if Manchester United want to be great again, if you want to build up and go to that next level, egos have to be gone. And I think Cristiano Ronaldo should be kicked out of the football club. That's just my opinion. Let's start with the wingers, Rashford and Sancho. Big season for both of these guys. Obviously, Sancho had a really terrible season last year with the hype of coming in from Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, it'd been a couple of years really in the making. So much money to bring him in, hyped up as the next big thing. And I think the fact that he was English as well, kind of, up the ante with that, made it a little bit worse. Being the next big thing for Manchester United and England is a lot of pressure for the young man. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it just did not work for whatever reason, and obviously probably down to some pretty poor coaching. He improved a hell of a lot towards the end of the season under old Ralph, and he's had a pretty good preseason, or a very good preseason, really, under Ten Hag. Now, obviously, preseason is preseason. You can't guarantee what's going to happen, but it's obviously better to see a player doing well in preseason rather than a player like completely struggling. I think this could be a brilliant season for Jadon Sancho. He could play anywhere. Well, I think anywhere across his front four, really. Play on the right, play on the left, play through the middle, play off a striker, potentially play as a false nine. I think he's an exceptionally talented young man. And again, I don't want to see him do well because I don't want to see Manchester United do well, but I think he will. I think, big things for this man going forward. On the left, massive season for this guy, Marcus Rashford. We all love him, for what he's done outside of football. But now is the time he's got to really prove how good he can be. And he's got potential to be one of the best players in world football. He genuinely does. He could be that good. He's taken his eye off the ball, whatever it is that you want to say. Maybe other things have become more important to him than football at the moment. But he looks fit. He looks strong. He's had a very good preseason as well. He looks up for it. The main thing for this guy is keeping him fit and keeping him focused. And I think if you've got a top coach in Ten Hag, I think these two, Rashford and Sancho, could become a very, very deadly duo out on the wings for Manchester United. Again, I'll say the same thing for Rashford that I did for Sancho. He could play anywhere along this front four. He could play out on the left, play out on the right. He could probably play off a striker. He could probably play the 10 role. He could probably play as that striker, which is something that he wanted to do when Jose Mourinho was obviously the Manchester United quite a while ago now. So an exceptionally talented player, but this is the season now to prove it because he's getting a little bit older. He's no longer that sort of that young kid anymore. He's going to have to take the burden on and really sort of, I think, lead the Manchester United attack this season. Again, same thing could be said for Martial. It's a bit of a risk, obviously, if they do get rid of Manchester United. If they do get rid of Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously, I'd imagine they'd have to bring in another player to replace him. But going with Martial, Rashford, and Sancho as like your main three attackers would be a bit of a risk. Obviously, between them, they didn't have a brilliant season last year, and you won't have that experience of Ronaldo, that big game player. He gets you goals. Along with all the drama and all the crap that you don't want, and he doesn't fit the system, all this stuff, he probably will end up, your top scorer. So it would be a risk to have these three, and probably in particular Martial leading the line because he's very inconsistent in front of goal. But I suppose the good thing is all three players have got something to prove going forward, and that can only be a good thing. It means that these players are going to be hungry. They want to show the world that they belong at a club as big as Manchester United, that they are the next big things, and they're not just a couple of flops. So, that's a good thing. Another good thing is, again, I'll say the same about Martial that I did for these two. Martial could play on the left, on the right, through the middle. And I think that'll be a really exciting thing for Ten Hag's football, a lot of possession-based football. And then you can imagine sort of Rashford going through the middle, Martial dropping out wide, or, Martial dropping to the right-hand side, whatever. Going to be a lot of interlink, quick football between these three guys. And also with chucking Bruno Fernandes there, he could probably do a job out wide as well. He could probably, play the striker role from time to time. So I think that front four is the opposite to what we saw last season with Ronaldo, where it's very rigid. Everything goes through one man. I think, with the football that we've seen Manchester United play already in pre-season with Ten Hag's reputation, possession-based football with 4 attackers who can all sort of interchange with each other and are comfortable playing in any one of these 4 positions. And I think probably they all would be. You could have one of the best attacks in the Premier League, one of the best attacks in European football, if they all live up to their potential and if they all are focused and are hitting their heights that I personally believe, as a rival fan, that they are capable of. 2 years ago, he was the best player in the league. He was being compared with Eric Cantona. That in itself is an incredible comparison, and it wasn't unjustified. He was on the same level as Eric Cantona 2 years ago. It's a bold claim, I know, but he was. He simply was. He's dropped off massively, and I do believe a big part of that is because of Cristiano Ronaldo. But anyway, guys, as a Liverpool fan, this is how to make Manchester United great again. Obviously, some of you guys will disagree with me, and that's understandable. That's entirely fair. That's the whole point of this channel. But let me know in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of this team? Is this a team that would excite you guys as Manchester United fans, or is this a team that you think is a complete load of rubbish? Either way, let me know your starting 11 of how to make Manchester United great again. Also, let me know what signings you would like to make. Obviously, Frankie de Jong is probably the big one, but who else, especially if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves, who would you want to replace him? Or do you want Ronaldo to stay? Let me know in the comments down below. I really hope you guys like this video. I kind of love just sitting here doing these little series. I hope you find them as enjoyable as I do making them. If you do, then definitely give the video a like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you very, very, very soon, hopefully. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.